Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thank you, Steve. Today I'll speak with a couple from New Orleans who found new purpose and lots of fun by working at several amusement parks. Today's episode is sponsored by The Dreamer's Journey. It's an online course and community produced by Workamper News. Life is way too short to keep your dreams on hold, so don't be held back by fear because you were designed for more. Get started in the RV lifestyle the right way with this comprehensive guide. For just $29.95 for 90 days of access, Dreamers have unlimited viewing of 50-plus videos to learn things like what type of RV to buy, goal setting, how to budget for the adventure, developing a positive mindset, setting up a domicile, and operating a small business on the road, plus everything about work camping and how to find the right job for you. Each video is 30 to 90 minutes long to give you in-depth coverage on each topic. There's no wrong time to get started, so for more information, visit www.rvdreamersjourney.com. Dawn and Jorge Hernandez have been married for 42 years and spent most of their lives living in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, and New Orleans before deciding to hit the road as full-time RVers. They were attracted to the lifestyle by friends who had purchased an RV to do some tailgating before Louisiana State University football games. Then, after their friends started full-timing, when Jorge retired from his job working for the city of New Orleans, the couple decided to do some traveling too. They spent 3 years working in food service at Dollywood Amusement Park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. They also worked as campground hosts at a campground while Jorge worked in the front office and Dawn performed maintenance around the park. The job they keep returning to year after year involves working at Adventureland Amusement Park in Des Moines, Iowa, where Dawn oversees 15 retail stores at the park and Jorge works at the park's 320-site campground, assigning guests to their sites and helping them to feel welcome. As a supervisor, Dawn directs nearly 80 other workers, many of whom are international students, high schoolers, and young adults attending college. Her staff ranges in age from 14 to 82, which poses some challenges at times. They both enjoy meeting people from across America who come to Adventureland to have fun, and they've been at the park for so many years that they get to know regular visitors and enjoy watching their children grow up. Of course, they've made many friendships with other work campers at the park and try to meet up with them at other places around the country in the winter months. As soon as their jobs at Adventureland end this season, the couple will head to Minnesota to work the beet harvest for the first time before heading to Albuquerque to spend the winter with family. To tell us more about their work and RV experience, please welcome Dawn and Jorge Hernandez to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Jorge and Dawn. I really appreciate the time. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and where you're from.
Well, George and I have been married for 42 years. We just celebrated our anniversary this past week. We have 3 children and 4 grandchildren. We have lived in Florida, then Tennessee, then Georgia, and the last 18 years we lived in New Orleans.
Oh, very.
And when we lived outside of New Orleans is where we decided to go full-time RVing.
Okay, super. How long have you been RVing?
We've been RVing 6 years.
Okay,
and work camping the same amount.
Super. What attracted you to this?
Well, I tell you what, it's really another couple's fault for getting into this lifestyle. Mike and Betty Gill are our good friends, and for like 15 years we went to all over the United States to LSU football games. And we kept meeting them on the road, so we decided to go with them together. And then all of a sudden, about 8 years ago, they said, I think we're going to get an RV so we can tailgate at the games. So they did, and we went and spent some time with them. And then all of a sudden, they went full-timing, and that kind of put the bug into us. And I ended up retiring from the city of New Orleans, and we hit the road through the grace of God, and we've enjoyed every second of it.
That's neat. And you've been work camping every year that you've been on the road.
Yes, sir, we have.
What kind of jobs
Yes.
have you done?
Well, our first one was working at Dollywood. We worked in the food department there. We did that for 3 seasons. We worked together with Mike and Betty. And then from there, we got a work camping job in Albuquerque, and we worked at a campground. My husband George did front office, and I did maintenance and ambassador. And we did that 2 seasons. And then we have worked since the very first year here at Adventureland. George works in the campground office here, and I'm a retail manager here for 15 stores.
15 stores? My goodness.
Yes, sir. And I love every minute of it.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. So you're not working on the rides or anything like that?
No, I don't work on rides. So we have a lot of work camper friends here that work in rides, work in food. They work all over the park. We've met a lot of good people doing this.
That's neat. And what kinds of things are you doing as part of your jobs this year?
Okay, basically what I do is I check guests in and out, and I assign their sites, and pretty much run the campground store. I also do some ambassador work, and during the summer, 3 or 4 times during the summer, we get so busy at the park that we have to park guests in the campground, and I assist with that also.
You mean the parking lot is full at Adventureland and you have to park people at the campground?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
That happens a few times a year.
That's busy. Super. And what do you do?
Well, like I said, I run 15 stores here. I have about 80 employees in a normal season. COVID's kind of hurt that, cut some of our employees down. We have half work campers, we have international students, and we have locals that come and work for us. I manage the employees, get them assigned to their stores. I'm in charge of making sure there's stock in the stores. And I work with the higher ups, making sure we get things ordered correctly. And I also help stock the campground store and the hotel they have here on site.
And you do inventory too.
And we do inventory also. We're usually here from March until the 1st of October. We spend 7 months here out of the year.
So because you've been at work camp at Adventureland for 6 years, you've risen to a management position. That's kind of neat. It's got to be challenging though, because it sounds like you're managing people of different age groups, the college students, the high school kids, and the retirees.
My youngest is 14 years old and my oldest is 82.
Does that pose any challenges for you?
Oh, does it ever? it can be very challenging because the older generation doesn't understand the younger kids and vice versa.
Right. So how do you deal with that?
I keep them separated as much as I can. Now, all of our older workers, they are work campers, so they're used to working with diverse groups, and they're really good with the kids. They help teach them, because a lot of these kids have never had a job before. So they're learning from our experiences.
That's nice. Now, when you're talking about stores, what kinds of stores are these?
Oh, my goodness. I have a lot of our stores that I have are souvenir-type shops. I do have a clothing store, souvenir store. I have a store that has all light-up items like swords and signs and all kinds of stuff for kids. Things that you'll see at nighttime at carnivals, people wearing hats that light up and stuff. And I have probably one of the largest toy stores I've ever seen. We have from stuffed animals all the way down to little army men.
What about the lava The glow store.
The glow store has lava lamps and all kinds of stuff in there. And then I have a candy store. That's our train station. You have to come through the candy store when you leave the train. And then we have a water park that we sell. We have tubes that we rent out. We have bathing suits. I have different kiosk sets throughout the park for people to buy water and drinks, and if they want a hat, umbrellas, different things that we sell throughout the park for their comfort.
Neat. What do you do, George? What are your typical jobs?
Well, my job is I check in the guests when they come in with their rigs, because I work in the campground, and I make sure that I try and take care of these guests as best as I can. Keeping them together, and have to make sure what kind of amperage their rigs have, and make sure that I assign them to the correct site. So I don't put a 30 amp camper into a 50 amp slot and that kind of stuff. We have over 320 sites, and every weekend we're totally full. And right now, last year we didn't have it because COVID. The Iowa State Fair is here in Des Moines, and we are totally booked from the 12th of August through the 24th or 25th.
Wow. So you'll be hopping here in a couple of weeks. Now, have you
we're hopping right now.
Have you always worked in a campground position at Adventureland?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And
yes, I have.
So this is something that you've done year after year after year, so you're pretty familiar with it.
Oh, and I really enjoy it because I enjoy meeting people from all over the United States, and what's especially satisfying is when we get to see these folks come year after year, and then you get to see the kids when they're 3 or 4 years old, and now they're 10, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty satisfying.
Neat.
And then we do also try to schedule meeting up with them at different places around the country. Like we've met friends that have worked here. We'll meet them at Quartzsite and spend a couple weeks there with them. And we'll, New Orleans, Dollywood, wherever, we try to meet up with people.
And when you said you're full-time RVing, so when you leave Adventureland this fall, where are you going to go next?
Well, I'm going to go. We're going to go to Crookston, Minnesota, and work the beet harvest. That will be my first year there, and then after that, we'll take the winter off and we're going to head to Albuquerque to spend the rest of the winter, Christmas and the winter with my daughter and her husband and grandkids.
That'll be fun.
They have a 2-acre farm, so we just pull our RV in there and we hook up our generator and we're good to go for the winter.
And Albuquerque isn't too cold?
Oh, it can get cold, but it's a different kind of cold than what you have, say, in the south or up north.
And when you wake up early in the morning, it could be in the teens or single digits, but by 9, 10 o'clock, it's very doable. Now you're going to get snow a couple, 3 times while we're there, but it doesn't last.
Are you still LSU fans watching all the football games?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Now that's the only drawback from being a work camper is that I haven't been to Tiger Stadium in 6 years, but we're going this year after the beet harvest. We're going to be back in the latter part of October, so we're going to get to see the last 3 games, and if we happen to go to a ball game, we'll go to that too.
Wonderful. But you're going to miss the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, right?
Always.
We always miss that. Now, the campground that we worked at, they wanted us to stay, but it happens the first week of October, and we're always working here, so we couldn't go help them.
Yeah.
And when does your position end at Adventureland?
It depends on when I get inventory done. Usually around the 1st of October or a couple days into October.
But this year is will be our last day is September 25th because we have to leave the 26th to go to Crookston, Minnesota, for the beet harvest.
The unbeatable experience.
Yes, sir. I've never done that before, so I'm looking forward to it.
What kinds of things are you going to be doing for that? Do you know yet?
Well, basically, my friend who introduces to that, he runs a piler. So I'm going to be down there on the ground doing whatever they need me to do, making sure the pathway is cleared of any debris. And, when they said we need to take a sample, I'm going to take a sack and, the machine fills it up. I tie it up and the lab people come by and take it away. So it's not that difficult. It is a 12 hour a day job and you work 14 days straight, but the pay's pretty good.
And Dawn, do you do the same type of work?
Oh, no, sir. I will be taking that time off because I work open to close here at Adventureland. I put in probably about 1,200 hours in the summer. So in the wintertime, I take it off now. I let George pick up the slack there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so you're already got jobs for next summer at Adventureland. You'll be returning?
Yes, sir. We'll come back here until we get tired of it.
It sounds like you're there now. I think I hear a train whistle in the background.
That you do.
You do.
We're sitting in the parking lot. I'm on my lunch break.
Very good. Have you faced any challenges while you've been RVing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Greg, the biggest challenges are, of course, just like everybody, we've had a few issues with the coach. But the most important, I took early retirement from the city of New Orleans, and we ended up having to go on Obamacare. So the health insurance is our biggest concern because our doctors are still in Louisiana. So we go back in January and in August. In fact, we're going next week. And that's basically the two biggest challenges that we've had.
Have you been able to get health care on the road?
Well, I'm on Medicare right now, so yes, we've had to. Dawn's had some stints put in on the road, and God's been good to us. Very expensive, but everything worked out.
Okay. What are some of the perks that you get to enjoy as work campers?
Oh, my gosh, there's so many. Like here in Iowa, there's so many places we haven't even seen everything yet. There's little towns that have little festivals that we get to go to. There's, each state has their own little special things that you go and see. At Albuquerque, they have, the mountains that you can go up in and the trams that you can take. Here in Iowa, there's John Wayne's Museum, and there's, we have what they call, the little, it looks like the Grand Canyon. Oh, it's called the Ledges. And there's a wildlife preserve out here, a living farm. So there's always something, no matter what state you go to, that they have special that you need to go see. When we worked at Dollywood, the good thing about Dollywood was we got to do a lot of the attractions in Pigeon Forge and in Gatlinburg for free.
And the biggest perk, Greg, of course, is that not only are we getting a wage for all hours worked, but our rent is paid for and the utilities as well. So we don't have any of that capital outlay, so, and we get admission to the park for free. And we get discounts on what we buy, we purchase in there and so on.
And throughout the community, too, we got discounts throughout the community. They give us a little card that tells them that we work at Adventureland, and they might add 15% off here, 20 there, just different little perks throughout the little town we live in.
But I can tell you, Greg, that when we were, the first year we were at Dollywood, you know, after work, we played like teenagers. I mean, horseback riding was free. Zip lining we got to do.
Going to the show.
All the shows were either free or discounted extremely low, and you could bring family with you and all of that. Dollywood does a really good job with that.
Now, there are a lot of shows and things like that at Adventureland too, right?
Well, inside the park, yes. There are magicians. On Friday nights, they have free concerts, you know, different live bands and all of that. There's we have a circus, and they put on a really good job. The same circus people have been doing this for, almost 25 years.
And we also have, in the off seasons here at Adventureland, when we're only open on the weekends, they try to have activities for the work campers during the week. And like I just found out today, we're going to have an employee year-end dinner, which is, they do it in the Palace here at Adventureland, which is like a huge auditorium with a stage, and they set up tables, and they have a buffet-style service for the employees.
And every year we have a welcome dinner and a farewell dinner. Last year with the COVID, of course, they brought the food to every camper. And I'll tell you what, they brought enough food to feed an army.
Yeah.
So, but this year we're going to be able to get together as a group, and you know, they show slide presentations of, you know, the park and the employees, the work campers, and all.
That happen throughout the year, and
Mm-hmm.
then they'll also show us things for next year that'll be coming up. But they'll also take, like, they have a bus trip going up to the Mall of America in about 2 weeks. So that'll be an all-day affair. They leave at 6:30 in the morning, and you get back at 1 o'clock at night.
And for years we've had golf tournaments, and there's a not too far from here is a little town called Boone, and they have a railroad that you know, it takes about an hour to go back and forth, and they tell you a story of how it came about and all of that. So,
well, that just should keep you busy.
They try to give us something to do.
How many hours a day are you
You know,
typically
Greg,
working?
I work anywhere from, I work open to close. So if we're open till 10 o'clock at night, I get here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I usually leave about 11 o'clock at night.
That makes for a long day, and you're doing that 5 days a week or 7?
I do it anywhere from 5 to 7, but that's what I choose to do. Most of the work campers here, they work anywhere from 6 to 8 days. They have to guarantee us they'll work 32 days a week, 32 hours a week for their free campsite.
Okay.
And also, something I forgot to mention, at the end of the season, it depends on how many hours. Like, if you hit 600 hours in the year that you're in the 6 months that you're here, you get $1 an hour extra as a bonus.
for every hour worked.
For every hour worked. So, like, I work 1,200 hours. I'll get $1,200 at the end of the season. And then also, you get an extra $400 for every campsite. So we'll get a $400 bonus for our campsite at the end of the year also. But you have to work till the last day, which this year is September 25th.
And Greg, I'm retired, so I'm one of those guys that work 4 days a week, 8 hours a day. I put in my 32, and
He's done.
The rest of the time I'm done. I worked a lot of hours when I was trying to feed the family and the kids, and and I keep asking Dawn, why do you put in so many hours? She says, because I love my job. I said, well, More power to you.
It helps when you like your job. Do you guys have it sounds like you just like doing the same things year after year after year. Do you ever wish that you could go out and try something else?
Well, to be honest, Greg, once we had never been to the Midwest, and once we came to Iowa, we experienced the Des Moines area, and we would move up here in a heartbeat. It's just that it's too cold during the winter.
George doesn't do cold. I wouldn't mind if he's not a cold person. And I can't imagine sitting in one place again, though, forever.
Well, and the biggest thing, Greg, we are in the heart of beef and pork and corn.
Yeah.
So we have these things that they sell. They call Iowa chops. They're about an inch thick,
Yes.
and they have great sirloins, and of course the corn is just out of this world. So we get together with our friends for happy hour just about every night, and about 2 or 3 times out of the week we'll grill steaks out and put the corn on the grill and all of that, and we've made some lifetime friends, and that is one of the biggest things of our experience as work campers.
And they're from all different parts of the country.
And all different walks of life.
Different experiences you get to hear about there. You know, we have military people, we've had trucking people, business people.
Sure.
Yeah, just all different walks.
I've heard that working in Iowa is different, that there is sort of a kind of a hospitality atmosphere, the Midwest hospitality, that people are just generally nice to each other. Is that true?
It is so true here.
Greg, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. You know, whenever we travel, I think that everywhere in the United States we've been into a Walmart. Because that Dawn makes me go to Walmart.
I love Walmart.
And here in Iowa, not just a Walmart, any store that you go into, you ask, let's say, hey, can you tell me where such and such item is? They go, yes, let me take you there.
It doesn't matter what store you're in.
It doesn't matter what store, whether it's a clothing store, Goodwill, anything, you know, and that's very refreshing because we don't see that back home.
No, you don't see that many places.
People are just nice here. And that's one of the things we love about here. It doesn't matter. You don't really get bad service anywhere. What
type of RV do you folks have?
We have a 2008 Alpha CU Gold, a 40-foot diesel pusher.
That's pretty big.
Yes, sir.
And
I would like to get a little bigger.
A little bigger? My goodness. Okay.
I wouldn't mind having a 42-foot.
Okay. Now, do you folks travel with a pet?
We do. We have a cat. His name is Toby. He's 16 years old.
Oh. So he doesn't mind being left alone.
No. He's a typical cat.
but he's a challenge, Greg, because what our favorite time of vacation when we're not working, we like to go on cruises. We've been on 40 of them.
45.
And then the last 4, we go to Europe for a month, and then we catch a cruise ship back. And having somebody watch Toby for
6 weeks,
it's it is a challenge. But thank God for Dawn's sister. She watches him, and he's okay with that, and we're okay with that.
That's fun. Do you have any advice for people who are considering the work camping lifestyle?
Well, from myself, I would say do a lot of praying and ask for guidance and do a lot of planning. If you've never bought an RV, go to the shows. Go to your local dealers. Open the cabinets. Turn on the faucets if they have the water turned on. Look underneath. I mean, because we must have looked at easily 400 or 500 of them, if not more, because it took us about 1.5 years before we found this coach, and that's what I would say, you know. But again, you take when we sold our house, we did a lot of praying, and we took a leap of faith, and it's been a godsend for us.
And another piece of advice, because I'm still working on it myself, is when you're planning if you're going to do it full time and you're not going to have a home, which we decided to sell our home, you have a lot of stuff in your home. You cut that in half, then you're going to cut it in half again, and then once you decide what you've decided to put in the RV, you're going to cut that in half again. And then every time you buy something, you need to get rid of 2 things.
Yeah, that's right. So
you learn to live on, you don't need so much stuff. It's amazing, because I'll be honest, I was a hoarder, especially with books. And I've learned, and clothes. I had 4 closets in our home, and I'm down to a closet that's about 3 foot wide. And I don't miss all that stuff. You learn to live without it because you don't need it. It's just stuff.
And Greg, out of those 3 feet, I get about 6 inches of that. So just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, all you need is a pair of pants and 5 shirts, right, George?
That's it. No, a couple of shorts.
A couple of shorts.
And yeah.
And the good thing about work camping is most of the places you work at, you have uniforms. So, and with me working open to close, I wear my uniform 5-6 days a week. So I don't have to worry about wearing anything else.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people who go into RVing are a little apprehensive about the downsizing that takes place, but quickly learn that it is really cool living a more minimalist lifestyle.
It really is. It's so freeing, and you don't have all the headache and the worries of what are you going to do with all this stuff. You don't. You just get rid of it.
And you have more money.
Yeah.
That
too.
Usually.
I still like to shop. So I'm constantly giving stuff to Goodwill, okay?
Okay. That's great. Well, I really thank you folks for I thank you folks for your time today and for telling us a little bit about your story. It sounds like it's a very busy time for you, but you're loving it, and that's what counts.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing about RVing is that, God forbid, you have a bad experience with a coworker or a manager or whatever. Greg, in 2 hours, we could be down the road and being a member of Workamper News, every day, Monday through Friday, they sent you so many work opportunities. For anybody who wants to work as an RVer, that would be a tremendous resource. And because there's work everywhere. Anybody who wants to work can get a job.
That's great advice. Well, thank you again, folks. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck as you're closing down this season at Adventureland and trying a new thing, the beet harvest. That should be very interesting. And I hope you have a great winter down in Albuquerque.
All right, Greg. Well, thank you so much for allowing us the time to share our story with you.
I'd like to thank Dawn and Jorge Hernandez for sharing their story with us. It certainly sounds like they're enjoying every minute of the RV lifestyle. The couple opts to return to the same jobs year after year. Not only does that allow them to maintain a familiar routine, working at jobs they love, it has opened doors for them to take on greater responsibility over the years. They like working at amusement parks for the entertainment options that come with the jobs, especially at Dollywood, where George said they played like teenagers when they weren't working. Horseback riding, zip lines, and first-class shows were all free to them because they worked at the amusement park. When opting to RV full-time, they faced the challenge of what to do with all their stuff at home. Dawn admitted that she was a hoarder when she lived in a sticks and bricks home, so when they moved into their 2008 Alpha 40-foot diesel pusher, she had to cut all the accumulated belongings in half, then cut it in half again, and half again. However, the process was liberating, and then it broke their reliance on accumulating stuff. The jobs they have requires them to wear uniforms, which really cuts down on the need to travel with a lot of clothing. The couple offered some advice for new RVers and those contemplating the lifestyle. That was to do a lot of planning before jumping in. For them, Workamper News is a good resource to keep abreast of other jobs, so they know that there are plenty of jobs available to support people who want to pursue a travel lifestyle. By downsizing their belongings and adopting a minimalist lifestyle, Dawn and George don't need as much money to support themselves, and they have the ability to travel pretty much wherever they want to go. I wish Dawn and Jorge Hernandez the best of luck as they wrap up another season at Adventureland and try their hand at the unbeatable experience in Minnesota. This episode has been sponsored by Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. The one-year memberships open the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of work campers, and peruse resources compiled by experts who've enjoyed the RV lifestyle for many years. Most Diamond and Platinum members receive inquiries from their online resumes within a day of being posted. The Workamper Experiences section has been piling up reviews of employers since 2007. Each archived issue of the Workamper News magazine lists hundreds of jobs. Hotline jobs are emailed directly to you with states you're most interested in visiting. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all I have for this week's show. Next week, I'll be speaking with an employer who will describe an opportunity to spend the winter months enjoying an adventure within the Everglades National Park at the southern tip of Florida. You'll never have to endure a cold winter again. I'll have more details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening.